support.
The maestro, please.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day in the US, and what better way to celebrate it than talking about a pop song? Today we're going to be looking at J. Cole, 21 Savage, and Morray's My Life.
J. Cole.
Jermaine Cole, and yes, that's what the J stands for, is an American artist who, oddly enough, was born in Germany and has arguably become a rap standard with some of his big pop hits like
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it.
And more recently,
I'm all in my bag, as hard as it get. I do not store powder, I might take a sip. I might hit the blunt, but I'm liable to trip. I ain't
21 Savage.
been a minute since we talked about 21 Savage. First time was back in 2017 when we did
Living like a rock star, smash out on a cop car, sweeter than a Pop-Tart. You know you are not hard.
Been up to a bit more since then, working on some solo projects.
How much money you got? A lot. How many problems you got? A lot. How many people done doubted? A lot. Left you out to rot.
As well as some collaborative efforts.
Running. I leave by my
Morray.
Morray Ruffin, coming out of North Carolina, been active since 2014, but has recently come onto the pop scene with his hit
Since it's just a time with a kickstand, thinking of a plan to get quick bands, falling in deep with the quicksand.
Background.
My Life was released as a single on May 25th and charted that same week at number 2. My Life actually contains a large interpolation from
My life, Barrel March, Ayatollah, Howard.
and by large interpolation, I mean they do just lift the lyrics from the chorus.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me. My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it through the struggle, don't judge me. What you say now won't budge me.
My Life is off of J. Cole's 6th studio album, The Off Season, which was released in the middle of May. It is the 3rd single, the first 2 being
Everything come back around full circle. Why do lies sound pleasant, but the truth hurtful?
and
I be coming in peace, but fuck me. Best beware the others, this shit deep. Undercovers creep, this southern heat make them bear.
in addition to our 3 performers, we have 2 producers on this track, those being Jake 1 and Wu-Ten. Jacob Dutton, aka Jake 1, has quite the extensive list of credits in both the hip-hop and pop scenes, some of his biggest being
You don't want no beef, boy. No, I run the streets.
and
I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys. I got them keys.
given if you're more into internet culture pertaining to memes, his biggest credit for you would probably be Kelvin Wu-Ten, better known by just his last name, but spelled W-U and then the number 10, has some credits in the pop realm as well, his biggest being
If you're cool, then I'm cool, then we're cool.
and more recently,
I want to sit on it.
My Life is released by Dreamville, Rock Nation, and Interscope.
Form.
My Life is a rap song just over 3.5 minutes long, 4/4 time, G minor, and 70 beats per minute, or 140 if you go double time. The song's intro opens up with a very lush texture and completely free of tempo. After that, we go into the first verse, done by J. Cole.
Spiraling up, just like a rich nigga staircase. No fly zone, please stay the fuck out my airspace.
We then get the chorus, predominantly done by Morray.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad.
Followed by 21 Savage's verse.
Life.
say what? The stuff that I seen got me traumatized. I let the K go when Johnny died.
Then getting one more chorus, again by Morray.
And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me.
Before the song simply ends.
It's my time now, my world, my life, my life.
Intro.
I felt it'd be easiest if we just look at the intro phrase by phrase in its entirety as opposed to instrument by instrument. On the top we have J. Cole, below that we have our melodic singer, below that we have that one guitar line that you'll hear, and on the bottom you hear the overall functional harmony of this first phrase, which is just a G minor 7 chord.
Yeah.
Following that, our chord goes to a D minor 7 over F. Above the chord, again, we have that main singer, and at the top, we have J. Cole.
No matter how long it takes.
And then finally, we have C minor 7. We have some guitar strumming going C minor, D minor, E flat major, and then going back down. And on top, again, we have that vocalist. All of these rhythms are just approximate because, again, this is all done freely out of tempo.
Backup vocals.
The backup vocals kind of take over as our functional harmony for the majority of the track. The first time we hear them, and for the majority of the song, they sing that opening G minor chord on a nonsense syllable, most clearly heard as ah, but they re-articulate it at the end of each bar. They do that for 2 bars before going to the F major chord with a little bit ornamentation, before finally doing the You Better Be on G, A, B flat, C. Become a bit more simplified in the chorus. You now hear more of an ooh as opposed to an ah, and they hold that G minor chord with no re-articulation for those 2 bars, and the F major chord has no ornamentation. However, they do keep the end of the phrase the same.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me.
Chords.
The instrumental harmonies during majority of the song are supplied via a keyboard and a guitar. Keyboard on bottom, guitar on top. The keyboard does spell out the full chords, that G minor 7 and the D minor 7 over F that we looked at in the intro, but the guitar mostly just focuses on that G minor chord and a D minor as opposed to that D minor 7. Notice how the guitar does re-articulate the chords just like the backup vocals do, and on the You Better Be part that the vocals do, the keyboard just simply does the same notes as opposed to any sort of supplied harmonies. Just like the backup vocals, the chords simplify during the chorus. The guitar now drops out entirely, and we just have that G minor chord for 2 bars and the F major chord for a bar instead of those extended harmonies we had before, but the You Better Be figure is still there.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me.
Bass.
The bass actually goes back and forth from a traditional hip-hop bass to maybe something we'd more hear readily on an actual bass guitar, opening up for those first 2 bars very much staying at that low C given it hits the upper C once, before switching to a G, and then at the end of the phrase going into, like what I said before, a figure that we'd more readily expect on a bass guitar. During the chorus, the bass actually gets more complicated, more so doing lines we would expect, again, on a bass guitar, and it blends great with Morray's vocals.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me. Yeah, nigga, my family wanna be.
Say what? I prayed it. I gave my 20.
My life.
J. Cole's verse.
After the intro, J. Cole opens his verse mostly doing various sort of triplet figures, and we do have those additional vocals on top with some heavy reverb just to get a bit more flavor to this first phrase.
Spiraling up, just like a rich nigga staircase. No fly zone, please stay the fuck out my airspace. Niggas say things behind back, shit they wouldn't dare say. Know it's on sight when I see you, I'm working at Squarespace.
In the very next phrase, J. Cole raises his energy significantly, and you get this back and forth as he borders on whether things are in triplet or whether things are in duple, which makes for a very interesting comparison, and it's something you'll notice throughout this entire song.
Yeah,
Top of the morning, I know that you thought I was dormant. Woke up early from shots that was swarming. A block from the ops, now the cops in the orbit. Cause somebody got popped, now they knocking on doors trying to find an informant. But I ain't seen Nathan, I'm minding my business. As God is my witness, the weapon gon' prosper that's forming against me.
While the previous phrase did have equal amounts of duple and triplet figures, in the very next phrase we focus more on triplet figures, given there are still some duple ones spread throughout.
Nigga, I'm starving immensely. Know when I'm done with these songs, you gon' miss me. John Moran, I'm on my grizzly. You niggas just cuz, but no, not the ones in the big leagues. After the fall off, I promise I'm coming and selling out Wrigley's. Nigga, I'm just a product of poverty, full of narcotics to profit off quickly.
As we move on through the verse, though, he becomes more focused on the triplet figures, given there are a couple of duple figures in the back half of the phrase.
My family tree got a history of users that struggle with demons, not really the hustler instincts. Therefore, often my pockets was empty. So while some of my partner was serving up racks on the corners of project assemblies, me, I was starting to envy. Wanna be on the top where it's plenty.
As J. Cole wraps up his verse, again, we still mostly focus on triplet figures, only doing duple figures in between to lead into other triplet figures. Listen also that he starts to space things out, especially on the back half.
Wanna be in a spotlight where every bitch want me like Rihanna dropping new Fenty. What I see in the sky, the villas of Scylla can't reach up too high evidently. Nah, shit. I can't reach up too high evidently. Never seen no one driving a Bentley. I can't be out here mopping up Wendy's.
21 Savage's verse.
Similarly to J. Cole, you'll see 21 Savage border on that line between duple and triple figures. However, you will hear that 21 Savage draws out the end of his bars a bit more than J. Cole does.
Say what? The stuff that I seen got me traumatized. I let the K go when Johnny died. Swinging that motherfucker side to side. We don't participate, ain't with that squashy shit. All we believe in is homicides. I got a good heart, so I send teddy bears every time we make they mamas cry.
As we move on in 21's verse, we get those signature ad-libs that he's known for, but his rapping mostly stays around the triple figures as opposed to the duples, though there are some, and they're a bit more present in his ad-libs than they are in his rap.
I pray that my past ain't ahead of me, 21. When I'm in love, I love heavily. If you betray me, you dead to me, 21. I disrespect you respectfully. I got some partners who left this earth. Maybe the pain made it better, on God. Just know that they secrets is kept with me, God. I feel like the streets is in debt with me.
As we get into the second half of his verse, his rapping is almost entirely done in triples, though it's again a bit more spaced out than J. Cole's, especially in that first bar.
I gave my heart away to all the dog hoes, cause that's who accepted me, 21. I blame my pops for that shit, cause if he didn't fail, he could've corrected me, 21. Give all the props to my mama, cause no matter what, she always protected me, God. I promise you it ain't no checking me, God. Jump in the water, get wet with me.
As 21 finishes his verse, he goes back to the interplay between the duple and triple meters, especially considering the fact that his ad-libs on that first bar are done entirely by themselves.
21. You want my money or wanna have sex with me? Can't let the odds of the law get the best of me. I get the answer and you get the test of me. I see chicken, you niggas is breasting me. Planted a seed, but it ain't a sesame. Can't let you niggas or bitches grow next to me.
Chorus.
During the chorus, it's mostly a focus on Morray singing, who's on the bottom, but above him you do have J. Cole supplying some good harmonies, given they're typically much more simplistic. In those first two bars, Morray tends to stay around that G, getting a bit more melodic in the following two, and again, you'll notice that J. Cole's lines, supporting a vocal harmony, are actually much more simplistic than Morray's.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me.
On the back half of the chorus, we get Morray getting a bit more melodically and rhythmically interesting with his lines, and in that first half of the phrase, we get J. Cole layered over himself in fifths to supply some great harmonies before ending out the rest of the chorus.
Cause where I come from, so often, people you grow with laying in a coffin. But I done made it through the pain and strife. It's my time now, my world, my life, my life.
J. Cole is a powerhouse in the hip-hop industry. Hell, all of his albums have topped the hip-hop charts as well as the Billboard 200, so he has quite the pop following as well, and this song is just another reason why he is good at what he does. The other two singles off of the off-season also ended up charting, so he clearly knows what he's doing. The man was born to rap, and I don't know if he can do anything else. I mean, he said it himself. He
can't be out here mopping up Wendy's.
My life is all I have. My rhymes, my pen, my pad. And I done made it out the struggle, don't judge me. What you're saying now won't budge me.
Now, I've seen where all the letters are lowercase, and I've seen where all the letters are uppercase, but I have never seen when they're all lowercase, they're all spaced out, and they all have a period in between each word. It makes searching for this on any sort of search database very difficult.
Cause where I come from, so often, people you grow with laying in a coffin. But I done made it through the pain and strife. It's my time now, my world, my life, my life.
Say what?